Picture this. It's 9:15 p.m., the house is quiet, and you're rinsing your favorite mug while thinking about tomorrow's blood sugar. Most people believe the number they see in the morning depends on breakfast. The truth is, your morning glucose is decided at night. What you eat 60 to 90 minutes before bed can nudge your liver to idle instead of rev, soften the dawn hormones that push sugar into your bloodstream, and help you wake up steadier. Tonight I'll show you one simple base snack that works for most people over 50, plus 6 smart alternatives you can rotate through the week. I'll give you exact portions, the best timing, and a 7-night plan that lets you test and see your own results. The secret isn't a complicated recipe. It's protein paired with the right kind of fiber and zero added sugar. That calm combination slows your stomach just enough, sends gentle signals to your liver, and smooths the dawn phenomenon, so your morning doesn't start on a glucose roller coaster. Let's begin with why numbers climb at night and how a small, well-timed snack can help. In the hours before sunrise, your body releases hormones, cortisol, growth hormone, a bit of adrenaline, to wake you up. Those hormones tell your liver to put extra glucose into the blood so you have fuel. If you also had a starch-heavy snack close to bedtime, slept poorly, or went to bed a little dehydrated, your liver gets the message to push even harder. That's why you can eat nothing after dinner and still wake up high. The goal of a pre-sleep snack isn't to fill you up or to give you dessert. The goal is what I call PAZ, protein plus ample fiber or resistant starch, with zero added sugar. Protein, especially slower digesting milk proteins, gives your body a gentle overnight stream of amino acids and reduces the urgency to dump sugar. Soluble fiber swells into a soft gel that slows absorption and steadies your curve. Zero added sugar avoids the quick rise and crash that wakes you at 2 a.m. and bumps your morning number. Think calm, not caloric, soothing, not sweet. Safety first, because great results only count when they're safe. This is not a replacement for your medications or your clinician's plan. If you use insulin or a sulfonylurea, any change that lowers your overnight glucose can increase the risk of going too low. That can be good news in the long run, but for the first week you'll pay attention to symptoms and, if possible, check once in the night or first thing on waking until you learn your pattern. If reflux is part of your story, choose gentle, savory options and keep acidic ingredients light. If you live with chronic kidney disease, be mindful of potassium from seeds and nuts and of total protein. Use the options that fit your targets and discuss portions with your care team. If you have food allergies or lactose intolerance, use the swaps I'll give you. Nothing here is a miracle. It's a tool to layer onto good sleep and good daytime choices. Here are the rules that make a pre-sleep snack work. Timing matters. Aim for 60 to 90 minutes before your head hits the pillow. That window is late enough to influence the night, but early enough that you're not going to the bathroom at 1 a.m. because you washed down a big bowl. Portion matters. Small to moderate is the sweet spot. About 150 to 250 calories, enough to soothe the liver without overfilling the stomach. Temperature matters more than you think. Room temperature or gently warm tends to sit better than ice cold. Sugar sneaks in everywhere at night, so pick zero added sugar and keep naturally sweet foods modest. Drink most of your liquids earlier in the evening. Your last proper glass of water should be finished at least 90 minutes before lights out so you're not up and down all night. And measure your results so you know if it's working. Write down what you ate, the time you ate it, and your fasting glucose on waking, plus one quick line about how you slept, restless, calm, or somewhere in between. Data is your friend when you're making small changes that have big effects. Your number one choice, the base that helps the widest range of people, is a bowl of plain Greek yogurt with chia and cinnamon. Use 170 grams of unsweetened Greek yogurt, which delivers slow-release casein protein, and stir in 1 tablespoon, about 15 grams, of chia seeds. Sprinkle a half teaspoon of cinnamon over the top. That's it. Casein digests slowly through the night, which gives your body something steady to work with instead of signaling the liver to dump sugar. Chia forms a soft gel that lines the stomach and slows the release of any remaining carbs from dinner. Cinnamon doesn't lower glucose like a drug, but it does make a simple snack feel complete so you're not prowling the pantry. If dairy doesn't love you, choose a lactose-free Greek yogurt or an unsweetened, higher protein plant yogurt and bump the protein with 2 or 3 spoonfuls of ricotta if you tolerate it, or a few spoonfuls of silky tofu blended in. Keep it simple and calm. No honey, no syrups, no granola. If you prefer something a little more savory, or you want a dairy-forward option with a different texture, cottage cheese or ricotta with ground flax and a light drizzle of olive oil is your next ally. Spoon 120 to 150 grams of cottage cheese or ricotta into a small bowl, stir in 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flaxseed, and add a tiny thread of extra virgin olive oil across the top. The protein is slow, the flax brings soluble fiber and ALA, and the olive oil makes the whole thing feel satisfying without turning it into a heavy meal. If reflux is a frequent guest, keep the oil to the thinnest drizzle or skip it entirely and let the ricotta's creaminess do the work. If you live with kidney disease and are watching minerals from seeds, ask your clinician about your ideal flax portion. Many people do well with a teaspoon to start. You are calming the night, not building a feast. For those who enjoy a gentle tang and want a probiotic nudge, a small glass of plain kefir with a spoon of chopped nuts and a dusting of cinnamon can feel like a ritual. Pour 150 to 200 milliliters of unsweetened kefir, stir in a tablespoon of chopped walnuts or almonds, and finish with cinnamon. The kefir's live cultures support the gut environment that, in turn, influences how your body handles glucose, and the nuts add staying power. Keep it modest, keep it unsweetened, and keep it earlier in the 90-minute window if you tend to wake to urinate. If you're taking antibiotics, keep your kefir and your pill at different times of day so they don't step on each other. Your doctor can guide you on spacing. If lactose isn't your friend, use lactose-free kefir or a cultured plant drink without sugar, then add a bit more protein elsewhere in your day to keep your totals where you want them. If you're plant-forward or simply want a dairy-free option, a tiny chia pudding made hours earlier can be a lifesaver. In the late afternoon, whisk 2 tablespoons of chia into 200 milliliters of an unsweetened milk alternative and tuck it into the fridge for 2 to 3 hours so it sets. When bedtime approaches, take out a small portion, half to 2/3 of the jar if you made more, and add a drop of vanilla or a strip of orange peel for aroma. It's cool, soft, and very gentle on a tired stomach. Do not sweeten it. If you need a whisper of sweetness, rub the orange peel against the rim of the bowl. The scent does more than sugar ever could. If cold foods bother you at night, let the pudding sit out for 10 minutes so it loses the chill. On nights when you want something you can chew, and you're not in the mood for dairy or seeds, a single hard-boiled egg with a few bites of raw cucumber or a tiny handful of soft greens dressed with lemon can be your quiet hero. Peel 1 egg, slice a few rounds of cucumber, and if you tolerate acid, splash the cucumber with a squeeze of lemon or a drop of vinegar. Eat the vegetables first, then the egg. Protein plus a little acid often leads to a softer curve in the morning. If reflux or a hiatal hernia is part of your life, skip the acid and keep the vegetables plain with a pinch of salt and a thread of olive oil. Watch the salt shaker if blood pressure is a concern. Your goal is calm, not thirst. Some nights call for pure simplicity. A small mix of nuts, 10 to 15 pieces total, such as a few walnuts, a few almonds, and a couple of Brazil nuts, can keep you from wandering into the cookie cupboard while still honoring the plan. The healthy fats and magnesium help many people feel less snacky at midnight, and the absence of quick carbs keeps your liver from getting stirred up. Because nuts are energy dense, keep the portion truly small and chew well. If your mouth tends to be dry at night, make sure you finish most of your fluids earlier in the evening and sip only enough with your nuts to be comfortable, then stop so you're not up 3 times before dawn. If you have a nut allergy, skip this entirely and stick with one of the other options. There are 2 more tools that can help when used thoughtfully. One is a simple fiber in water strategy, and the other is a mild acid. If your clinician says fiber supplements are safe for you and you don't have trouble swallowing, 1 tablespoon of plain psyllium husk stirred into 200 milliliters of water 30 to 60 minutes before bed can form a gentle gel that slows overnight absorption from your late dinner and helps your morning feel smoother. It is essential that you drink enough water across the day if you use psyllium and that you separate it by at least 2 hours from any medications, because that gel can delay pill absorption. If you have swallowing difficulties, skip psyllium. The mild acid option is a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar mixed into 250 to 300 milliliters of water and sipped through a straw earlier in the evening, followed by a plain water rinse to protect your teeth. Some people find this helps after a starch-heavy dinner. If you have reflux, dental enamel concerns, esophageal issues, or low potassium, avoid this vinegar strategy. Choose a food-based option instead. Remember, these 2 are helpers, not main courses. As useful as it is to know what to eat, it's just as important to know what not to reach for. Skip sweet fruit on its own right before bed. Bananas, mango, grapes, dried fruit, and fruit juice behave like quick sugar tricks at night and can play ping pong with your liver. Avoid smoothies, sweetened cocoa mixes, flavored yogurts, sweet biscuits, and that innocent-looking tea with a little sugar after 9. If a recipe needs sweetening to taste good at bedtime, it's probably the wrong night snack. Now I want to wrap this into a routine so it's easy to repeat. After your small snack, give yourself 2 or 3 minutes of calm. Sit back and take a few rounds of 4-7-8 breathing. In through the nose for a count of 4, hold for 7, out through the mouth for a count of 8, then stand and do a gentle calf stretch against the wall for 30 seconds per side. Your nervous system pays attention to rituals. A calm brain tells the liver to idle, and calm calves make sleep feel closer. Keep your room cool and dark, shut off bright screens 30 minutes before lights out, and finish your last real glass of water at least 90 minutes before you lie down so nocturia doesn't steal your sleep. There are warning signs to respect. If you wake at night sweaty, shaky, or with a racing heart or vivid nightmares, consider that you might be dipping too low. Check your glucose if you can, bring this to your clinician, and adjust either your evening medication or your snack choice and portion. If you're on insulin or a sulfonylurea and you start waking lower than usual, that's progress that needs a dose conversation, not a reason to stop what's working. If you live with kidney disease, keep an eye on your total daily protein and on potassium from seeds and nuts. and choose the options your care team prefers for you. If you take warfarin, keep any leafy vegetable nibble consistent from night to night. If reflux speaks up, stick with the protein-forward, soft, savory choices and keep acids and vinegar off your bedtime table. Everything here can be tuned to your body. Let's make this real with a 7-night plan so you can test and learn. On night 1, make the base bowl: plain Greek yogurt, 1 tablespoon of chia, a dusting of cinnamon. Eat it about 75 minutes before bed, sit quietly for a moment, stretch your calves, and make a note of the time. On night 2, try cottage cheese or ricotta with ground flax and a thin thread of olive oil, keeping the portion in the 120 to 150 gram range. On night 3, pour a modest glass of plain kefir, stir in chopped walnuts, and relax with a book or calming music after you finish. On night 4, take the chia pudding you set earlier from the fridge, let it warm a touch on the counter, and enjoy a few slow spoonfuls. On night 5, peel a hard-boiled egg and slice a few rounds of cucumber, adding a squeeze of lemon only if your stomach likes it at night. Vegetables first, then the egg. On night 6, pour a very small handful of mixed nuts into your palm, 10 to 15 pieces, not a bowl, and eat them slowly while you unwind. On night 7, if your clinician approves and you tolerate it, test the fiber in water approach with a tablespoon of psyllium in 200 milliliters of water 30 to 60 minutes before bed, or, if you're one of the people who does well with gentle acids and you have no reflux or dental issues, sip a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in water earlier in the evening with a straw and rinse with plain water afterward. Each morning, write your fasting glucose, circle how you slept, good, fair, or rough, and note whether you woke hungry or calm. At week's end, look at your notes. You will see patterns. Maybe the yogurt chia nights were your best. Maybe the egg plus cucumber gave you the quietest sleep. Choose your 2 champions and repeat them for another week. I want you to picture tomorrow morning after doing this tonight. You chose the yogurt and chia at 8:30, took 3 slow breaths, stretched your calves, dimmed the lights, and read 2 pages before sleep. You woke once to roll over, not to raid the kitchen. When the alarm chirped, you felt more rested than yesterday. You washed your hands, took your meter, and saw a Kinder number. Not a miracle, not magic, just physiology working in your favor. Over a few nights, sleep pieces often improve as well, and calmer sleep itself gently lowers morning glucose. It's a friendly circle moving in the right direction. There are a few little adjustments you can keep in your back pocket. If you're consistently waking a touch low and you use insulin or a sulfonylurea, bring your diary to your clinician and talk about adjusting the dose or timing. The snack is doing its job. If your numbers aren't budging after 3 or 4 nights but you slept poorly and drank little water during the day, fix those 2 basics and test again. Dehydration and choppy sleep can drown out a good snack. If chia or flax bloats you at first, cut the portion in half and drink a bit more water earlier in the day. Your gut often adapts within a week. If dairy bothers you, rest easy. Ricotta and yogurt swaps exist, and tofu-thickened plant yogurt can be surprisingly satisfying. If nuts turn into too many nuts, pre-portion 10 to 15 pieces into a tiny jar so your hand learns the size. If you ate dinner very late, you may not need a snack at all. The right move is to bring dinner earlier tomorrow rather than double down at 10:30 p.m. You may be wondering where fruit fits. For bedtime, fruit is usually better left for daytime meals when protein and fiber can partner with it and your muscles are more active. If you want a hint of fruit at night, Make it aroma rather than sugar. A strip of citrus peel in chia pudding, a sprinkle of cinnamon that reminds you of apple pie without needing the apple, a drop of vanilla in yogurt to give your tongue the impression of dessert without the glucose consequence. Your bedtime snack is there to soothe, not excite. This whole method is not about going to bed hungry. It's about giving your body what it needs at the hour when it matters most. Protein plus the right fiber, no added sugar, a little calm, and enough time before lights out to digest. You will feel the difference within a few mornings if you give it a fair week. Keep the snacks small and consistent, keep your notes honest, and let your own data choose your champions. Once you've found the two that work best for you, stick with them for a while. Routine is a medicine all its own. If you want to carry the calm into your morning and keep that curve steady through lunch, the next step is simple. Pair your bedtime win with the right first meal. I've put together 7 fast breakfasts, each one packed with protein, fiber, and the right kind of fat, that work especially well for adults over 60. If you want to consolidate tonight's effect and wake up steady tomorrow, watch the video 7 Breakfasts That Lower Glucose Fast, Diabetics Over 60, and choose your first 2 mornings now. For tonight, pick your pre-sleep snack, set your timer for 60 to 90 minutes before bed, breathe, stretch, and let your body experience what it's been asking for, a gentle nudge to rest so you can rise steady.